Wake up in the grind, clock ticking, 20 minutes flat, freedom main-handed, knives built where the real ones at.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the 20-Minute Freedom Project. I am your host, Josh Lopez, and today's episode is Backward is the Way Forward. Sometimes the universe does something that we could look at as cruel. It shows you the life you could be living, then holds it just out of reach. And you try, and you grind, and you push harder, faster, louder, and longer. But the gap, no matter how hard you try, continues to get bigger. And that's when most of us panic or double down on habits that are not working. Or the worst of all, we just numb out. But those at a high level, the ones who grow and evolve and escape the cycle, learn something different. You can sprint the wrong direction your entire life, and forward feels like progress, even if it's not. Let's say you're walking through a dense forest because you've heard rumors about this breathtaking overlook. One of those views that just puts you in awe with the beauty. The kind that reminds you that what really matters. You've been walking for a while. The trail is narrow. The air is clean. And every step forward feels like you're getting closer. Then you reach a fork in the road. 2 paths, 2 directions, 0 signs. One leads to the outlook with a life-changing view. And the other leads to a dead end. But you don't know it yet. You don't know which path is right. You don't know which one is wrong. You've got a 50-50 shot. So you pick one that you think it is. At first, it feels right. Forward always does. The ground is level. The trees open a little bit. And there's a quiet confidence that starts building inside you. Yeah, this is it. This has to be it. But the further and further you go, something starts to feel off. The path narrows. The air gets still. And your gut starts whispering, this doesn't feel like the trail that leads anywhere worth seeing. But you push forward anyway. Because this is the trail you picked. This has got to be right. And because turning around feels like losing. And you have to go back all the way that you've come so far. And it feels like you're quitting on the decision that you've made. You've invested the time, the energy, the little sweat that's on your brow. But then you take a corner, and abruptly the trail ends, a wall of brush. Dead stop. And now you're standing there, frustrated, tired, and annoyed at yourself. You started second guessing, and why didn't you turn back? It's not fully that you made the wrong choice. Everyone makes the wrong choice sometimes. But because it took you so long to admit it, and you've done all the work to get to this point. But here's the truth. The moment you realize you're on the wrong path, the only intelligent thing to do is stop, turn around, and go back. It's not defeat. It is not failure. It's wisdom. Sometimes the most powerful move forward starts with a step or 2 or 3 in the wrong direction to get back where you started. Because when you get back to the fork in the road, something shifts. You're not starting over. You're starting again. But with this starting again, you have information you did not have before. You're more alert. You're more aware. You're more intentional. And this time, when you choose the other path, the path that in the beginning felt very uncertain, the one you were scared you might regret, you start noticing all those signs that you had missed and you hadn't seen before. A patch of the sky is peeking through the canopy. The sound of wind rolling over open space. The terrain begins to rise slightly. Little breadcrumbs, all telling you you're headed in the right path to get that view that you're looking for. And eventually, the trees open, and there it is, the outlook. Oh, the beauty. The place you were always meant to get to. Not because you sprinted, but because you were willing to stop sprinting in the wrong direction. Forward is only progress when you're on the right path. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is take a step back so you can finally move forward in the right direction. And sometimes the most courageous and powerful step you can take is the one that in the beginning feels like you're going in the wrong direction. You're going backwards. You have to go backward. You have to undo, unbuild. And sometimes you have to go backward to just finally make it to where you ultimately wanted to be, where you finally wanted to reach. There's a psychological principle called regression reintegration. I'm hoping I have that correct. It says that sometimes the mind must temporarily regress to reorganize itself for higher functioning. We see this in childhood development. Kids go backward before they leap forward. Mentally, emotionally, physically. And us adults do that too. Breaking down before we have breakthroughs. There's always chaos before clarity. If you've ever heard the term, it is always darkest before the dawn, it has a whole different meaning if you are looking at it in the fact that you have to go through things and change your path, and sometimes it becomes the most darkest view where you don't think there's a way out before you finally get to the point where you want to arrive. You have to step back and reassess before you can accelerate to the place you want to be. Harvard published a study on high-performing CEOs that found that the top leaders had one thing almost completely in common. They routinely pause, simplify, and strip back complexity before major growth can occur. Not after, before. And yet, culturally, we're told, don't stop, don't slow down, don't pause, don't retreat. But here is the paradox. Forward progression often requires intentional retreat. Sun Tzu, from The Art of War, said retreat is a form of strategy. Every great general knows this. Every master builder knows this. Every elite athlete knows this. Your life operates no different than theirs. So I have a framework for you, and we're going to call it the step back triangle. The first is reset your foundations, and you're going to regain the strength you lost. Everyone has fundamentals they abandon when life gets busy. You abandon your sleep. Your fitness starts to slip. Your planning goes out the window. Your presence with your partner may not even see you, except as if passing ships in the night. Your faith your faith is slipping. Your journaling practice, your learning, your rest is usually one of the first things to go. Your boundaries, your time alone, your time with your kids. These are all the bricks of your house. But life hands you more responsibilities, more pressure, more expectations, and you start replacing the bricks with band-aids. In the story, you had to go back to the beginning to reach the outlook. In the same way, you may have to go backwards to fix the foundation. You have to rebuild your bedtime routine. Maybe you have to start lifting again. Maybe you have to clean up what you're eating. Maybe you have to put your phone down at dinner and be present. Maybe create a weekly plan instead of winging every single minute of your day. You have to simplify. Your power will return. Your foundation determines your freedom. Number 2, you have to reset your direction. Clarity over the chaos. Most driven people don't have a work ethic issue. They have a vision issue. You can swing a hammer all day long, but if you're building the wrong house, the hustle becomes your worst enemy. When you step backwards, we realize your business didn't need more effort. It needed better direction. You need to have better projects, better priorities, better systems, better decisions. Backward gives you perspective. Perspective gives you clarity. And the clarity gives you momentum. I want you to ask yourself, where am I going? And why the hell am I going there? If you can't answer those questions, you're drifting. Number 3 is you have to reset your identity. Become the person who can win. This is the deepest reset. When a snake grows, it sheds its old skin. When you grow, you shed your old identity. You can't carry old habits into a new chapter of your life. New levels require stability. New results require new beliefs. New impact requires leadership. New freedom requires new disciplines. When you arrive to the dead end, you had to admit you were still operating in the identity that you had chosen the right path, and you thought it would lead you to the overlook, not the identity that was totally required to lead you to the overlook. You had to go back to the fork, allowing you to rewrite the choices that you had made. Not a different person, a clearer version, a more aligned version, a more powerful version. Backward gives you space to transform. Here's the part that when someone goes backwards, no one expects. When you go backwards, everything moves forward. More energy, more confidence, more connection at home, more present as a parent. Your life and your business become tighter. More profit without grinding harder. Better mornings, better boundaries, better decisions. You can lead better. You have better faith. You have more peace. You don't have to change that much. You have to change what is not working. your next breakthrough is buried under the life you have built on autopilot. Backward is how you dig out from under the pile that you have put on yourself. It is time for the Freedom Challenge of the week. For the next 7 days, choose one area where you will intentionally go backward. 1, not 5, not 10, not your entire life. You are just going to pick one. You're going to strip it back, you're going to simplify it, and you're going to return to the basics. Then after you do that, you are going to start again, slowly, intentionally, and deliberately. Your freedom is hiding behind your willingness to go backwards and to reset. Forward isn't about speed, and it isn't about motion, and it isn't about the hustle. Forward is alignment, and sometimes the most aligned move is to step back. Many of you are going to say, but what this, what that? You don't fear the reset. You don't fear the pause. You don't fear the quiet. You don't fear the simplification. Greatness is built backward. Because once you go backward, you can ultimately spring forward. If this episode made you think, hit home, or brought you some new insights, share it out. And as always, freedom isn't found, it's built one rep at a time, one intentional step at a time. And I will catch you guys on the next one.